Okay, use triangle ABC and the law of cosines to answer the question. Given that the measure of angle B is equal to 56 degrees, the length of AB is equal to 8 units, and the length of BC is equal to 10 units. What is the approximate value of little b? Little b is approximately blank units. Enter your answer as a number. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so law of cosines, we're finding a side length in a non-right triangle, which this is, and then we have the angle opposite the side length you want to find the measure of, which we do. We have the angle of 56, which is opposite the side length of little b, which is what we want to find the measure of, and then we have the two side lengths that create the angle, which we also have. We have side length AB and side length BC, which create this angle of 56 degrees, and it's 8 and 10. So this is how the law of cosine sets up. We have our unknown side being squared. We have is equal to our known side lengths being squared minus 2 times our side length times the other side length again times cosine of the angle opposite the side length we're wanting to find, so which is 56 degrees. So then again, I would copy this and type it into my Symbol Lab calculator. And again, remember that the squares on this didn't copy correctly, so make sure you go back in and type those in as squares. And then this will solve it, and it'll step us through it. So you would first multiply 2 times 8 times 10 to simplify to 160. So then you would have minus 160 times cosine of 56. Then 8 squared is 64, so that's how they went from 8 squared to 64. And then 10 squared is 100, so that's how they went from 10 squared to 100. And then you would add the numbers 64 plus 100 to end up with 164. And that's how you ended up right there. And then you just put this minus 160 cosine of 56 in the front. That's fine. It's the commutative property, so you can rearrange addition and multiplication that way, and that's okay. So then, since this is b squared, it just means we're going to take the square root of the right-hand side. So then we'd have the square root of negative 160 times cosine of 56 degrees plus 164, and the negative square root of that. So since we're dealing with a side length, we want the positive length. So this is 8.63, and it had said to round to the nearest tenth. So my thought is 63 closer to 70 or to 60? And that is closer to 60, so it'll stay as 8.60, and since it's rounding to the nearest tenth, that 0 drops off. So it's 8.6.